What's good, YouTube? It's me, Coach 67 Sports TV. Shout out to the awesome and amazing LDBC, Langston Boston community. Shout out to the greatest university in the world, the Southern University, home of the mighty Jaguars. In this video, I'm going to give my post-game reaction to Florida A&M University versus Southern University tonight at A.W. Mumford Stadium, Pete Richardson Field, on Pete Richardson's birthday. Just getting back from the game. Southern University lost a close, tough loss. Had a tough loss. They lost 26-19 to Florida A&M. This game is one of the classic examples of why Southern University fans no longer want Coach Eric Dooley to be a head coach. He lacks, in terms of him and Southern's offensive staff, they lack play calling skills. Because, for a coach like myself, play calling is a skill. You scaffold, you set up plays. You don't just randomly call plays. You scaffold and you set up plays. You run a couple plays and set up another play. You don't just call plays just willy-nilly. It's a skill. It's a technique to play calling. So he lacks, they lack play calling skills. They lack game management. They lack clock management. And just overall, it was a winnable game, just like against Alabama State, just like against Jackson State. So this game, just like the other two games they lost, it was a winnable game. To start the game off, FAMU won the opening kickoff. They deferred the ball the second half. Southern got the ball. They went like 6 and out. FAMU got the ball. They drove a little bit. Southern got the ball back. And Southern went down the field and scored a touchdown. They pretty much leaned on Gary Quarles that entire drive. He ran the ball well. Last week, they rearranged some of the offensive linemen. And Gary Quarles Jr., he had 100 yards rushing last week. And essentially, they tried to ride that wave and that momentum into this week's game. So they leaned heavily on the running game. Of course, preseason all-SWAC kicker Justin Griffin, when it was time to kick extra point, the extra point bounced off the upright, and Southern was up 6-0. Of course, Jeremy Musa led FAMU down, and they scored a touchdown, so they take a 7-6 lead. Southern gets the ball back again. Of course, they lean heavily on the running game, and then at this point, Harold Blood, he throws a touchdown. Jalen Howard streak. He ran a goal route just right up the sideline. They scored a touchdown. So time to kick another extra point. I'm thinking, well, they're going to go for 2. Of course, they didn't. They went to kick another extra point. In this instance here, the extra point is blocked, and FAMU runs it back for a touchdown. So instead of the score being 14-7, Southern is only up 12-9. Southern defense played an excellent game. Taj Brown, he played well. Kelby Gibbons, he played well. Jalen Campbell, Christian Davis. I mean, Southern's defense played well. And just like the other two games they lost, the offense didn't do enough. The defense played well enough for them to win. But the offense just put the defense backs against the wall often. They put them in vulnerable positions. They really didn't protect the defense. It's pretty much been the same story for all 3 games they lost. So Southern was up 12-9. The defense gets a huge stop. So Southern is getting the ball back, and they're going to have good field position. They're going to be right at midfield, maybe on the plus side of the field. One of Southern University's best wide receivers, Chandler Whitfield, he muffed the punt. And FAMU recovers. FAMU gets the ball. Jeremy Musa leads them down the field. They score a touchdown. So pretty much at halftime, FAMU is up 16-12. So at this point, we go into halftime. FAMU goes three and out. Now by this point, Southern gets the ball, and this is a classic example of Southern just leaning too heavily on the run game. Southern runs the ball 3 times, and then they punt the ball back to FAMU. And of course, you know, early in the game, it was like third and 8, or whatever the case may be. Southern ran a draw, and they got like a huge gain. Gary Quarles Jr., he got a huge gain. And of course, after that, he went to the well far too often with that same particular play. Now, in my pregame analysis, I said Southern needs to add some screens to that running back, some screens to the wide receiver, and some draws. But he needed to mix it up. He running the same draw play multiple times. It really wasn't going to get the job done. So they went to that play again. FAMU gets the ball back. They really didn't do much. Southern gets the ball back again, and Southern scores another touchdown. At this point, they kicked the extra point. It's good. Southern is up 19-16 by this point. So FAMU gets the ball back, and they go down the field and kick a field goal. So for the most part, it was back and forth. You know, at the end of the game, Southern gets the ball. Again, offensively, they just lean too heavily on the run game. Of course, FAMU, you know, they gradually made adjustments. They was able to stop the run. FAMU gets the ball back. Jeremy Moose leads FAMU down the field for the go-ahead touchdown. Pretty much a game-winning touchdown. Southern gets the ball back with 2 minutes left. You know, Harold Blood, he leads them about midfield. They get to about the 50-yard line. 58 seconds left in the game. Southern has 1 timeout. And again, Coach Dooley runs. I think he runs like a draw or like a power with the running back with Gary Quarles, which was a stupid play call at that stage in the game. You know, you got like, you know, a little less than 60 seconds left, a little less than a minute left in the game. And you're going to run the ball at midfield, and you only have 1 timeout left. So, of course, Southern still doesn't have like a great sense of urgency. You know, that's one thing I used to hate. Essentially, Coach Dooley, he runs the same racehorse offense that they ran when Pete Richardson was the head coach from 93 to 08. And, you know, even though it's a spread offense and it's no huddle, it's not tempo. It's not up pace. So it's just, I mean, the amount of time it takes them to snap the ball and get a play off, you could just huddle and turn around and run a play in that same time frame. So basically, them running that draw or that power, whatever it was, I think it was like a power, Gary Quarles, like the amount of time they burned in that time frame, they lost so much time. So from a play calling standpoint, you know, Southern, they did a terrible job. From a clock management standpoint at the end of the game, they did a terrible job. Game management, terrible job. So this was a classic example of why so many Southern University fans want Coach Dooley out as the head coach. So they burn a lot of time. Then thereafter, Harold Blood gets sacked. So by this point, you know, you like right at midfield. Now it's 4th down. They got some of the yardage back on 3rd down, and basically, you know, you only have like maybe around 20 seconds left at this point. And Harold Blood, you know, he makes a desperate pass, just like he did to start the game last week against Arkansas Pine Bluff. And he threw an interception to start the game last week. And in this instance, he threw an interception to end the game this week. And that pretty much was the end of the game. Jeremy Moose kneeled on the ball. That was the end of the game. Southern loses 26-19. You know, it was a good game. It was a winnable game, but Southern should have won. Of course, the same issues that plagued Southern and their other 2 losses, basically play calling, clock management, game management, just the offense just being inept and anemic. At least in the first 2 games, it was more so offensively. Southern didn't get the job done from more so they relied too much on Harold Blood. But in this instance, they could have mixed it up a lot more. They ran the ball entirely too much. I know they tried to get their running game going the same way they had it going last week, but there were instances, especially like start the second half, you run the ball 3 times in a row, you go 3 and out. A little bit less than a minute left in the game, you run a draw, power, whichever one it was. I mean, it's irrelevant. Basically, it was a stupid play call. You have less than a minute left. You only have 1 timeout. You right at midfield. You have to score a touchdown. There was no sense of urgency. The play calling was just trash. And, this is why so many Southern University fans, they just want Coach Dooley out. They want Harold Blood out. They want Coach Ronald Banks out as AD because, things are not going in a positive direction. It was a winnable game. They should have won. And, I tip my hat to FAMU. They won the game. But I think as much as FAMU won, Southern blew this game also. And the crazy thing about it is FAMU, they didn't, they brought a lot of fans to A.W. Mumford Stadium tonight. They didn't bring as many fans as maybe Jackson State brought earlier this year. As many fans as Alcorn State would bring. Those 2 teams, they bring, they travel well when they come to A.W. Mumford Stadium. But, FAMU fans, some of them seem agitated with Jeremy Musa, which I don't understand how. In addition to that, they were saying basically FAMU's alumni and a lot of their fan base, they're not satisfied with Jeremy Musa. And I don't understand how, like that's ridiculous to me. And I told them, I'm like, hey, I'm going to be truthful. We could switch Harold Blood for Jeremy Musa right now, this instant. Because I guarantee the same weapons that Southern has on offense, if Jeremy Musa was the head. I mean, if he was the starting quarterback at Southern, it would be so much better for Southern's offense. But, I mean, you kind of have to play the hand that you're dealt. I guess Coach Dooley feels Harold Blood gives him the best chance to win. And just like he did with Bashawn McCray last year, he stuck with Bashawn McCray and he rolled with him, even to his detriment and to the team's detriment. This year, he's just going to ride it out with Harold Blood, and it's going to be what it's going to be. And if he's still there next year, the way he's going, he might not be. But if he's still there, it seems like he's just going to go with Harold Blood again next year. So we'll see how things play out. But this was a winnable game. As a Southern University fan, it's extremely frustrating when you have these close losses. If you have a good enough head coach and a good enough quarterback, Southern more than likely, instead of being 2-3, they will be 5-0. So that's it for this video. Check myself and my brother, Jared O'Level Green, out on his channel tomorrow night for Southern Baller Show, where we're going to recap this game and all the games from the SWAC and just HBCU games in general. Also, check out my brother Brent Fox, his channel. If you into NFL football, he's a Steelers fan, check him out. He also covers some boxing, so on and so forth. Also, check out SWAC Talk, one of the best SWAC YouTube channels here on YouTube, probably the best. So that's it for this video. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the video. If y'all saw any value in this video, like the video, share the video, comment in the comment section, subscribe to the channel. Also, click the notification bell so you can be alerted anytime I post any new videos. I'll catch y'all on the next video where we talk about Southern University's homecoming next weekend. So enjoy y'all evening. Enjoy y'all weekend. Catch y'all on Rebound. Peace and blessings.